Happy Christmas. Happy Christmas.
Thanks.
It's Christmas, Michael.
It's always Christmas in your heart.
Yeah. Christmas in my head when I have a glass in my hand. That'd be about the most of it. Michael Cowman, the Lord of the Last Drop.
Yeah.
I thought it was very appropriate that I brought you down for Christmas because it's nice for you to get out of Dublin and come to the scenic part of the world down here in Dundalk.
Yeah.
Scenic.
Yeah. All right. Yeah, let's roll with that.
I did want to get you back for volunteering me for shaving. I mean, it's starting to come back. I know it's your own is starting to come back.
Well, I think that's for the best that we cover our faces for everybody.
Has Dave been sheared yet again?
No, Dave is like a big sheep. It just comes back he comes back in about a week, and nobody's the wiser.
Right. Okay. So did he just come out, popped out, and it was out?
He had a kind of a 80s kind of adult movie vibe for a while, and then that was it.
I was standing close to him, and it made me very nervous. I know that. Doug, is he's hoping to have 2 hairs by next year?
He's hoping by next November he will have maybe
something.
A little mig or something.
Yeah, it'd be nice. Yeah. You can buy them now. You can get a hair transplant.
I think he was talking about some sort of pills or tablets or something. I'm not sure.
That's it. It might be another thing. Anyhow, so Michael, seeing that we are in a jovial mood.
Happy Christmas.
We have these 4 that are live now in our auction.
Yeah.
And I thought, who better to bring them down than the Lord of the Last Drop himself?
I mean, people ask me.
Yeah.
They say, what do you do, Michael? What is your actual
job? A lot of
job?
people ask you that.
A lot of people ask me that.
Yeah.
So I'm the European sales manager for the Last Drop Distillers.
Right.
So all this stuff here.
So the Last Drop is a relatively new entity. It's only new to Ireland, definitely.
New to Ireland, I think. The fact that I'm here and looking after Europe now means, I suppose, a few more people have heard of it. But
is it your moniker that does that? I mean, Paddy sold about 2 extra bottles because you were the Prince of Paddy.
2 extra cases, Pat. But yeah, so the Last Drop Distillers themselves, as a company, was started in 2008.
Okay.
2 guys, Tom Jago and James Espy. So Tom, 2 guys were a bit of industry legends, really. Okay. So Tom was involved in creation of Malibu, Chivas 18, Bailey's, for example, and James Espy would have been involved in the foundation of the Keepers of the Quake, which is the Scotch association that recognises people that have done things for Scotch whisky.
When do I get mine?
When do you get your
Keepers of
because you've done so much for the cause of Scotch whisky globally?
Yes, I think so.
I think you have to do a minimum of 7 years now. Yeah.
I'm here 3.
Yeah.
You
So
can do
4 years. 4 years.
These come up. We've had one of these in our existence. We've had one of these through our auction. I don't think it went particularly well. I didn't know a whole heap about them.
Yeah.
I still probably don't. It's one of these things that you're looking at, and I know your famous statement of the age statement on the side of a bottle. It's more like lampposts to do with hamsters. I've no idea what that means, but I thought, come down, tell me what these are. I'm impressed by them, I have to say, Michael. When we opened them, I mean, they're in a gorgeous presentation box. Jade, can you get over? So there's 1972 Lochside Distillery. Lochside is closed?
Lochside is a closed distillery. So this was a distillery built in, I think, the 40s by Hiram Walker. So, so it was kind of built almost in a North American style, but it was one of the largest grain distilleries in Scotland at the time.
Okay.
So you can see, when we look at the bottle numbers, 106, we only have 106 bottles of this. And this is one of the reasons that these don't come to auction very often.
Just to be not being smart, they were literally just single cask. They're not like the Dungorney, we've 1 cask and here's bottle number 1400.
No, so I think people ask us, they're like, oh, you're independent bottlers, and it's not really the way we like to see it.
Yeah.
It's more curators of stuff that's a little bit remarkable. I think the fact that we're so small, right, we're a very small company, we are owned by Sazerac, which is the larger global entity, but the fact that we're such a small company, we can kind of bottle stuff that probably wouldn't be commercially viable for other people, you know what I mean?
I was, you kindly invited me to Belfast.
Yeah.
When you were featuring these in Belfast Whisky Week, and we got to taste some of these things. They are ridiculously good. I mean, I think we did get to taste that grain.
Yeah.
It was exceptional. And again, it's one of these things, when do you get a chance to taste them? You've got a chance to buy them now in the auction, and that's the thing. So that's 1972, Lochside Distillery, just bottled in 2017. Only 106 bottles, that's bottle number 30. So they come in this gorgeous presentation box, little sample, little booklet, stopper there. They are driven cork with a wax seal. I think.
Yeah, they are.
And then they come in this outer presentation box, and we also have the outer carton, the sales carton that will be in. So anybody who's buying these to put them away, they'll be there.
So no, I was just going to say we've only had 24 SKUs over the course, so the company's only around
24 different releases.
Different
Don't be
releases.
coming out with SKUs. Nobody
Sorry.
has a breeze what that means.
Yeah,
I
yeah.
barely know what it is. I can't even spell SKU.
Yeah, so 24 different releases. We kind of do different collections, so we'll do like an autumn collection, a winter collection. Generally, kind of
Currently
three.
no Irish one.
Currently no Irish one, but definitely looking to change
Plans
that in the
are
future.
for something.
Definitely looking
And
to change
if
that in the future.
There was predominantly Scotch. I know there's a cognac one there. It was predominantly Scotch.
But,
There
yeah.
is.
There's rum, there's port, there's Pinot de Charente.
Okay.
For anyone who knows what Pinot de Charente
Yeah,
is,
yeah.
I certainly didn't before
Yeah, yeah.
we released it. But I think that's one of the unique things about us as well. It's not just Scotch.
Okay.
Predominantly, it has been Scotch, and Scotch has been the driver. But since we're required by Sazerac, that gives us access to stuff like bourbon and you know, really, really good.
Well, that's what I'm saying. You have got some bourbons out there now that do exist. This is a 50-year-old Scotch malt or blend?
Blend, yeah.
Blend. Because I'm looking at it. Read it. When it says blended Scotch whiskey, you think I'd know the answer. 898 bottles, 50 years old.
Yeah.
That's incredible. Again, we don't have anything. I mean, in Ireland, what did we last year? We had the Silent 2 at 46-year-old, and it was a lot more money than that.
Yeah, yeah.
So I've always admired Scotch, and again, I suppose they're in a different part of their journey along with whiskey, is that you can get age statements at fairly affordable prices.
Yeah.
I mean, they really are. I mean,
Kind of, you know, your RP is probably going to be something around £3,000, that kind of thing.
yeah.
Which, you know, is a lot of money.
Yeah.
Absolutely, we're not. None of us saying it's not.
Yeah.
But
Well,
at the same time,
For normal people, it is. For you, what's that? A day?
pocket change. You
Yeah,
know,
yeah,
that's
exactly.
my day rate.
Yeah.
But exactly,
fucking paying you.
50 years old, and I think the thing about all the releases is we don't bottle stuff because it's old.
Yeah.
You know, it's some of the stuff we've been offered stuff that's old, far older than this before, but it just doesn't taste good.
Right.
So job one, Rebecca Jago, who's our managing director now, she's very much, it has to taste delicious, like, you know, and that's one of the things she always
It's a
says.
sort of basic fundamental, especially when you're doing something like this.
Yes, yeah.
I mean, I think any distillery, any brand is not deliberately going to put out muck.
Yeah.
There have been a few that I'm not allowed to say for fear of litigation.
I think there are occasions when people maybe don't bottle the best thing that they have, or don't wait quite long enough, or there's maybe a little bit too much
Stuff
commercial
like-
pressure.
No, I can't say it. But we won't say it. But it's a starting point, isn't it? It's the best starting point to have on. Dunvilles. I mean, I always admire Dunvilles. I like the lads up there as well. But they won't put it out unless it's right. And they've done that with Ecklinville now. I mean, they could have had product on the market, but they haven't because of that. Cognac. Here's a new realm to Irish whiskey auctions. I have a few bottles of aged cognac myself, but it really is it's a huge different market all on its own. I mean, the collector for it, lose there. Yeah.
Well, I mean, we have a close links with a cognac house in a place called Segonzac in France. So it is owned. So Sazerac themselves have bought their own cognac brand and stuff now. But they give us a lot of help with sourcing some of this stuff.
Okay.
So this is an Hordage cognac. We
Do
have
you know what Hordage means?
it just means old. You know,
It means without age.
yeah, you know what I mean. But
It just means old. It's a non-age statement.
Anyway.
Hordage.
But the thing is, so
Did I ever tell you I lived in France? I speak a little French also. Make 186 bottles of them as well. Again,
gone.
proper rare stuff.
Proper rare, and look, the thing is, when it's called the Last Drop for a reason.
Yeah.
There's not loads of it floating
Yeah,
around
yeah.
out there. I mean, one of these. So, for example, Adair Manor have a bottle, not this exact one, but they have a very similar
I
bottle.
can't
to
have
this.
that exact one because that exact one's here.
Here, exactly. You know.
Adair Manor didn't sell this to me.
No, I know. Yeah, I know.
sorry.
I only put it there Wednesday, so
Right,
you know
okay,
what I mean.
fair
It wasn't.
enough. Right, okay.
But you know, that's an example of the type of places that they carry the brand. So, the likes of Adair Manor, the likes of the Connacht in London,
But
these
it
kind of
is,
places.
yeah.
You know.
And look, there is a prestige attached to
Yeah,
it. I mean,
yeah.
again, having it. I wonder, actually, there is one for you. The likes of Adair or places like that, can they have the bottle and box on display? Because, I mean, to me, you're looking at that and you're looking at a bottle standing on its own. You'd sort of, I'm not saying you'd overlook it, but you nearly would overlook it.
Yeah.
You know, I know bar backs aren't that big, but I mean, for a prestigious place like Adair or the Connacht or Are these just weekend haunts for you? Is that where you go?
That's just where I hang out, you know.
Just your expenses account must be fantastic. To have them on display, I suppose. Look, most of the time it's on the menu or up to the skill of the bartender to be able to
this is it,
introduce it as well.
Because people have to be. It's one of those things. It's the bartender has to either and it is a small brand, but the bartender has to be going right. This is the type of customer that will want to drink a 50-year-old Scotch or something from 1972. So it does rely very much on the bartender. But we are conscious of that. We do have a rebrand actually coming in the new year.
Okay.
So conscious of the fact that yes, you need to have presence on a back bar as well. But I think these are great, but they do take up a lot of space.
I have, since they come in, I have envisaged them in the Anto collection, lit up.
Yeah.
Four different things lit up either in a stack or across the top. Katie has told me I'm not allowed.
Well, the good thing is you've actually tasted the liquids, so you know how good they are.
Yeah.
We had a very small, what was it, maybe 10 of us for Belfast Whiskey Week. So I think you have an appreciation of how good the liquids are.
Yeah.
And the thing I said on the night, and I always say, is fresh. Like we like to, we like the whiskeys
it's
not to taste like timber. That's very.
And that's a fine balance in that, because I am sure, without a shadow of a doubt, there's probably lots of 50-year-old cask lying around Scotland that perhaps mightn't be the greatest.
Yeah, and I think in some
cases, they'll last for a reason.
Yeah, look, so there is very much that balancing act between picking something that is old, that fits the brand, but also tastes good.
72. If somebody is 50 years old next year, I'm just here doing the sums in my head.
Yeah.
Took me a wee while. That's the bottle to buy for them, isn't it?
Yeah, because people.
That's a 50th birthday present.
It's a funny one, right? So we have a 50-year-old Scotch, which is 72. We have a 56-year-old blend as well, for example.
Okay.
But people like round numbers, like, you know what I mean? They'll like go, oh yeah, 50-year-old, and that actually sold out far quicker than the 56 did, just because people. And it was. I spoke to guys in stores and they were like, oh no, they want a 50. They don't want a 56.
But they don't do the sums. I'm going, which in theory, that is, so if that was distilled, what age was that when it was distilled, bottled? 72.
Don't do live maths, Anthony. That's.
Yeah, true, actually. That's just hit.
44.
No, look, it says there, where it aged for 44 years until we discovered and bottled it. There we go. Yes. Read the fucking label. 1971, the last one, Mick. Again, 1,300 bottles of that, slightly more.
Yeah.
But again,
one of our larger releases, and we have done a good few blended scotches.
Yeah.
Because it's very much Tom and James, when they started the company, they wanted to kind of showcase how good blends are and how good Scottish blends can be. And I think we keep hammering on about it. And it's.
If I could lay my hands on old Bells, some of the old Scotch whiskies, I really think black and white. I think the amount of people that just dismiss it as being a cheap thing. Put my neck on the line a little bit. I think there's nearly more skill involved in getting a blend right than there is in a single malt. Single malt is all done at the start. If you don't get it right at the start, on your barrels. But a blend is just the skill of look at Ireland. Look who we've got. We've got Billy Lighton. I mean, those redbreasts are just phenomenal because of the skill of the blenders that make it right.
Exactly, yeah.
And so it really doesn't get the kudos that it deserves. So, yes, we tasted, I think the 72, we did taste that 56.
Yeah. Which is probably one of my favourite of the race.
Yeah.
Because the balance in something like that, because I think there's something up around the 70, 80 different components in that particular whiskey, that you're bringing together.
And it can go so wrong so easily, as I say, with the minest of fuck-ups.
And when you're dealing with something that's, 50 plus years of age, there's not that
much
to
do over. Yeah. Should we just scrap that and start again?
Yeah.
So these four are live in our current auction. They are should be doing well. I mean, they really are. I think people will genuinely start it, and that's why I sort of thought it was a good idea to have you here, because I don't know enough about them. I genuinely don't know enough about them. I know you're supposed to, because it's your job apparently, but it's great to have them in the auction. It means that for us as Irish Whiskey Auctions, we're getting bottles like this now, so it does us a load of good. But Jesus, when I'm looking at them, I'm genuinely thinking, I want them in my collection myself.
Yeah. And I think, look, we don't see them come to auction very often.
No.
The thing about the brand is, a lot of the bottles just get opened.
Yeah.
They you know,
It's at a price point for a particular market.
yeah, there is a particular consumer who will go home and will be happily open a 1972 or a 50-year-old blend, and that's just.
But again, I mean, look again, they're not that expensive. They're not a silent. They're not a high-end Lalique Macallan. They're not something that is out of the price point for a special occasion. As I say, a 50-year-old person that's 50 next year. Obviously, you're close to that. I'm not, because my hair's growing back. It's not great at all. Not great at all. That it would be something that you genuinely would open and taste and enjoy and all that sort of stuff.
And that's very much what we want to see happen there. They're not priced astronomically.
Yeah.
Even at RRP.
Stop using big words.
So, you know, they are made to be opened. They're made to be drank.
Yeah.
Everything is meant to be a little bit exceptional, a little bit different.
Are
as well,
you?
So.
I know you mentioned about the Irish one potentially maybe coming.
Who knows? Perhaps someday. What?
The market for sourcing them casks is fairly thin on the ground. I mean, I know you would have had a lot of legacy distilleries in Scotland, and the casks were bought up by different bonders and all that sort of stuff. We just don't have that at the minute. We will in years to come.
We don't have it yet, and it is definitely part of my job is looking to source different casks and whatever, and having the conversations. And it's definitely a lot easier in Scotland.
Yeah.
You know, that stuff
does
exist.
Speak Scottish?
Just about. You know, I'm conversational.
Right. Okay.
I know what a battered Mars bar is. You know, that kind of way.
Okay.
Yeah.
Right.
So I can speak Scottish. I know the people. But it is certainly a lot easier, and there's an established market.
Do
there.
they treat you as you're one of their own because of the ginger bit?
Well, yeah, no. I mean, look. Before I open
You have
my
to
mouth,
prove it. You don't have to.
before I open my mouth, they say, "Yeah, no, it's grand."
He's
you
one
know?
of us.
Look, sure, we're all the same, really, aren't we? You know.
Turn us upside down and shake us. Yes, apparently so. So look, Mike, I want to thank you. There's a bit of education there. They are a proper collector's item, but again, they're not priced out of a drinkers. As I say, the 72. If you were 50 this year, buy it for yourself. It's been a shit year with COVID, and just drink it.
Yeah.
And just drink that because it's cognac, and cognac gives you a mad stinking hangover.
Well, not that one.
That one wouldn't.
No,
Some
not that I've ever drank a full bottle of it, but you know, I'm sure you'd be grand.
And the 50-year-old one is again gorgeous presentation, gorgeous sample bottles. Happy Christmas, Happy New Year, all of them things. No doubt you'll be down annoying us over the New Year at some stage as well.
You love to see me coming. That's it, like.
No, at all. No.
Well,
you keep volunteering me to do things like, genuinely. This is I want to get this out in the air. Did I know that you had putting out that post before you put it out?
who knows?
No,
You know?
no. Tell the truth.
No.
I said,
But you were a very good sport about it. You know,
I wasn't.
You didn't speak to me for about 3 weeks.
Yeah, I was going to skin you alive, you. I mean, at my age, I've got to start thinking, will it grow back?
I know.
You know,
Yeah.
I genuinely do.
Those blue pills don't work for everything.
No, they don't make your hair grow. I know that much. Right, that's it. Good luck. Talk to you soon.
Happy Christmas.
Happy Christmas.